Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Math 30-2, Chapter 4, Section 5, Solving Rational Equations, Part 1. Today, we're going to determine the non-permissible values of the variable in the rational equation. We're going to determine algebraically the solutions to a rational equation and explain the strategy used to solve the equation. Explain why a value obtained in solving a rational equation may not be the solution of the equation. And 4, solve a contextual problem that involves a rational equation. Now, let's do some examples. And before we get going, I want to point out there's two parts to this. The first part, where it's something equals something. And this is really quite straightforward. All you do is cross multiply. Literally, that's it. Here, 7 equals 2x divided by x plus 5. Now, something's going to get picky. There's something there. Yes, this is 7 divided by 1. God, how many dollars? Somebody gets picky. Anyway, all I want to do is cross multiply. So this becomes 7 times x plus 5 equals 1 times 2x. Well, in this case, 7x plus 35 equals 2x. Okay? Now, minus 2x. You want to solve for x, so you get x over itself. So 5x equals minus 35. And how do you get it with times 5x? Divide both sides by 5x. Divide both sides by 5, my apologies. X equals minus 7. Right? Now, I completely forgot to do my non-permissible values. I hate this getting old. Yes, I can hear you yelling at me through the television, through the screen. Now, here, can 1 ever equal 0? No, I don't worry about that. X plus 5 can't equal 0, so subtract 5 on both sides. X cannot equal minus 5. Alright, so I should be saying down here, x equals 7 as long as x cannot equal minus 5. Alright, now, try doing this one a little more intelligently. This one over here, I want you to cross multiply, but I'm going to remember to do my non-permissible values first. Alright? So, x plus 1 cannot equal 0, so subtract 1 from both sides, x cannot equal minus 1. And 3x can equal 0, so let's go 3, x cannot equal 0. So I have my two non-permissible values here. X cannot equal minus 1, and x can't equal 0. And I should be doing that first, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, moving on, we cross multiply. So this becomes 3 times 3x equals 2 times x plus 1. Multiply and solve. So 3 times 3x is 9x. 2x plus 2. Right. So what do we do next? Well, remember, we want to get x all by itself. So I would suggest subtracting 2x from both sides. And then we are down to 7x equals 2. Now, 7x equals 2. How do I get rid of times 7? Yes. Both sides by 7. X equals 2 over 7, whatever that is. And somebody's going to grab Mr. Calculator and insist on doing this because you will not give me a fraction no matter how much I scream at you. 286. 286, something like that. Leave it as a fraction, please. Alright. So far, so good. So this is the first half. Find non-permissible values and cross multiply and solve. Now, two more here. I'm going to pause it according to the red one. We'll do it, come back and compare answers, and then we'll do pause it according to the black ones. The black one. Right? So I'm going to pause it according here. We'll come back and compare answers. And yes, non-permissible values first. Okay, welcome back. Now this one, I went and found my two non-permissible values. x plus 2 can't equal 0, so x can't equal minus 2. And the other one, x minus 2 can't equal 0, so x cannot equal 2. Then I cross multiply it as you see in blue. 1 times x minus 2 equals 3 times x plus 2, or x minus 2 equals 3x plus 6. I decided to get all my x's on one side, so I subtracted x from both sides. And I decided to get all my numbers on the other side, so I subtracted 6 from both sides. That gave me minus 8 equals 2x. That goes sides by 2, I get x equals minus 4. Alright? So you see the pattern forming here. Now, I'm going to pause the recording. You're going to do this last one on your own. Actually, no, I probably should help you with these, shouldn't I? Let's do this one together. We'll do the next couple on your own. See how it goes. All right? So right off the bat, 3x minus 1 can't equal 0. So I add 1 to both sides. 3x and then 1. How do I get other times 3? 5 plus 6 like 3. So x cannot equal 1/3. Alright? So this equation is fine as long as x doesn't equal 1/3. That's what we're talking about. Now, once I got that done, I do my cross multiply. This is 2 times 5x minus 4 equals 3 times 3x minus 1. Now notice this is nice. There's no x squared or x cubed or anything like that. It's just x's. And we can boil this and multiply that. So 2 times 5 is 10x, 2 times 4 is 8 equals 9x minus 3. Now, I want to get all my x's on one side and all my numbers on the other, so I'm going to go subtract 9x from both sides. I'm down to 1x here. Now, if I get rid of minus 8, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Plus 8 minus 3, you have 8 doubles, you have somebody 3, you're down to 5, or x equals 5. Alright? So far, so good? Good. Now, word questions. Salt water is flowing into a large tank that contains pure water. The concentration of salt in the tank, C in grams per liter, at time t in minutes, is given by the formula C equals 10t divided by 25 plus t. Determine the restriction and the time when the salt concentration in the tank reaches 3.75 grams per liter. Now, I hope there's 2 questions here. State the restriction. Well, there's one immediately obvious one here. 25 plus t can't equal 0. Subtract 25, subtract 25. T cannot equal minus 25 minutes. So right off the bat, that's what should pop in your mind. And then you think about it, wait a minute, this is time. You can't have negative. Time has to be greater than or equal to 0. When do we start timing? At 0 minutes. So that's the proper restriction on this. Be careful. That's a sneaky trick question. And yes, I expect you to be able to do that. Okay. Now, the other question is the time when the salt concentration in the tank is 3.75 grams per liter. So that's C. Or 3.75 equals 10t over 25 plus t. So now we have an equation. How do we solve that? Well, we cross multiply again. So this is 3.75 times 25 plus t equals 10t. Notice I'm getting lazy. I'm not going 3.75 divided by 1. I'm lazy. Oh dear. 3.75 times 25. I'll keep that in my head. 93.75, so that's 93.75 plus 0.75 equals 10t. Now, I want to get the t these all by themselves. So what do? Well, I suggest the easiest. Minus 3.75 on both sides. Now, 10 minus 3.75 is 6.25 feet, and that equals 93.75. Now, I'm going to double check that for home. 10 minus 3.75 is 6.25. Almost like I got a little time for it. Now, if 6.25 times time is 93, how do I solve for t? Size is 6.25. Mr. Calculator. 93.75. Divided by 6.25 is 15. So, once the concentration solvent tank reach 3.75 grams per liter in 15 minutes. Now, I'm going to pause the recording, review this if you have problems, otherwise, let's go on and do some more practice of this.